Oi, look, it's a little live stream that nobody knows about yet. Also, I'm not very good at this fake accent. Is it Australian? I don't really know. But we're gonna rip this thing apart, man. Oh, man. People need to clean their computers, I swear. So, what a mess. This is a big machine. A very big machine. And all we need is to get this power button to work. I can feel that it doesn't work. And like I say, it's just big. This thing is ridiculous. If you are here, please say something in the chat so I know to start doing things. Because I don't like to do things until at least a few people are here. Because I love to, I love to make sure everyone knows that there's a live stream going on. Bing bong, I'm here. We're gonna fix a power button today, which is not usually something that I ever have to fix, but on this one, it doesn't work. You can just feel it mush. You don't feel the nice click of a button. So one of two things has happened. Either the button itself is dangling, or the board behind the button has a problem. Oh, it's got one of those batteries too. One of those weird ones you have to pivot out. Ooh, no. And a bunch of pieces of plastic just fell out. That can't be good. Yep, so I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we have to take this whole top plate off, which means getting this keyboard out. I'm not sure. My volume. Adjust my volume. Is it too low? Hold on. Hold on. We're going to fix that problem. How's it going here? I think the focus is out too. There we go. That's better. Alright, so we're going to get the volume situation fixed. And maybe I'll put a compressor on it too. Let me know. And it takes about 20 seconds before I actually hear, or before you actually hear a difference. But let me know if there's still a problem with the audio. I will get that fixed. I actually was trying to fix a different problem with said audio earlier. Let's give it a little more gain in the compressor too. Yeah, this might be better. Yeah, how's that? How's that? All right. Let me know, my audio friend, if this is bad. I'm going to talk away from the mic because that's what I usually do. So, now that you can actually hear what I'm saying, let's see if we can get this stupid keyboard out without any screws. Or not. I don't know yet. Feels pretty tight. I don't know about this. Come on. Feels like there's something in the middle holding it. So, disassemble time. I did turn it off and back on again. I whispered sweet nothings in its ear, and before it saw what I looked like, it thought it was pretty nice. But I guess looks override personality. Oh well, who knew? Oh yeah, this is fun. Nah, I don't see anything that should be holding the keyboard here. How much you want to bet these screws are holding it? Wouldn't surprise me in the least. Godforsaken thing. Let's just start ripping screws out and see what happens. That should be a quote. That should be like an infographic or a demotivational poster. Let's just start ripping screws out and see what happens. Jody Bruchon. Yeah, there appear to have been 2 screws that go up into the keyboard, but we'll find out for sure in just a second. Yep, 2 screws. It's like Raisin Bran, 2 scoops, which apparently was a lie. They don't actually have 2 scoops unless you have a very small scoop. It's the most consumed thing I've ever seen. Alright, anyway, I don't eat Raisin Bran anymore. Haven't eaten Raisin Bran in a long time, actually. No cereal for me. That's way too Amerifat for me today. Alright. Get out. Now, I'm just going to give everyone a fair warning here. There are multiple events that could call me away for a couple of minutes. So, there is a possibility. Yep, there's screws everywhere. There is a possibility I'll just have to walk away for a little while. So, if that happens, I'm sorry. I'm waiting on a customer to get back to me with their Gmail account information so I can steal their identity. So I can help them with their email. Hi chat people. It's nice to see you. Now let's address some problems. Locate the internet vent and then fill it with chunky peanut butter. This will prime your load catchers and boost your desktop wallpaper. If you know what that's from, you're both old and awesome. And if you don't, I'll actually put it in the chat in a little bit. Right now it's looking like I have to take every screw out of the bottom. I hate having to do this. Every friggin' screw out of the bottom just to get this one plate off. See, this is a computer from the bizarro period between when everything was way too complicated, like just there were screws everywhere and it felt like a labyrinth of like a million different screw sizes, and they just went in all the weirdest places you could imagine. It's between that era and the era when they just started putting everything underneath a giant plate, and all you had to do was pop a relatively reasonable number of screws out of the bottom, sometimes a few under the keyboard, and you'd be able to just get access to everything, and it was easy. See, this one is sort of like that, but the problem with this one in particular is that there are way too many screws. There are hidden screws. See, I had to take the hard drive out to find these. There are still a bunch of different lengths of screws, so it's not as bad as, say, taking apart a Sony Vaio from the early 2000s or an HP DV6000 or 2000 or 9000, which are all the same basic computer, just different sizes. But it's not as easy as newer computers that just have this sort of here's a plate and here's a thing that covers the plate design. Yeah, there's screws everywhere. This thing, these are all the same length. Alright, I'm just going to try and power through these as fast as I can, because I'm getting very impatient. Because, you know, kids like me... Actually, that screw probably does not need to come out, because the plate for the keyboard ends where? No? Maybe it does. The hinge screws don't come out. The back screws don't come out. This is a little weird computer compared to some, in that there's actually a plate behind the hinges and a much bigger plate in front of them. And if you take all these screws out down here, you can get that back plastic plate that's behind the hinges out. But you don't really need to do that unless you need to pull the display off, and I don't like doing that. You know, if there's a hinge mount problem, so be it, but I hate having to repair hinges. Alright, so my hands may or may not be falling off. Let's see if I can get this off. Come on. Oh, the joys of parenting. I mean computer repair. Are they really that different, friends? Are they really that different? Hey, Ice Vixen, those 2012 MacBook Pros, if I'm not mistaken, are the last ones before they went thin, made half the computer non-upgradable. They eventually cut the 17-inch models too. Pretty sure the 2012 Macs were the pinnacle of the Mac ecosystem, because after 2012, all the models started just becoming non-upgradable. I mean, they're overpriced. They've always been way overpriced. You've always been able to get more power in a PC for for the same amount of dollars that you'd spend on a Mac. So what did I miss? Did I miss anything? Or am I just... Oh, I did. Oh my God. Why are there screws here too? There's a lot of them. Why are there this many? There's like 5 of them. What the hell? Here, let me give you a zoom on that. Here, just I want you to just enjoy this with me. Look, they put them down here. Why did they put them down here? Because screw me, I guess. And there's 4 of them right here. Like, what? Were they afraid that the battery, like, I don't know. I don't even know. This is a lot of reinforcement for one little area. There's 4 here. Then there's 2 more offset a little bit here. There's 6 screws in this one little line right here. Like, Dell, I'm starting to think that what happened is Dell made some garbage giant computers back before this one was made. And they had problems of some sort, got paranoid, and decided, well, you know what? We'll just screw everything together way too much to overcompensate for our previous engineering failures. Yep, there they go. All right, and I already loosened more cables than I had to. Great. All right, so that didn't even have to come out. Remind me what I'm doing again? Power button repair? Isn't that right? I'm pretty sure that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Let's see. Oh, God. An electric screwdriver. You know, you just brought back a memory for me. I did buy an electric screwdriver. It was really big and too slow. It didn't make much sense. All right, so we can actually close this for now. So, let's see. You're still zoomed in. Let me see if I can keep it. Yep, the camera is not recording, so it's a little angry that it's not recording. Here we go. So the problem is behind this board. What will the problem be? It'll probably be that everyone is a clown. And that everything is made of hate and baby seals being clubbed. So here's our power button. Feels fine. Here's our power button. And when we push it together manually, it just feels mushy. So what's going on here, brothers? Let's see. I need to get this to where you can see what I'm doing. What a pain. So this button goes, it looks like it's almost right between the 2 screw posts here, and this is supposed to poke it. So why is it not poking it? Well, yep, that's exactly what happened. I friggin' knew it. Check that out. That is the little pointy thing. You probably can't even see it. Hang on. That's the little post that comes up, the little tiny plastic post that comes up off the power button. Off the what people think of as the power button, but it's really just a piece of friggin' plastic. It's a teeny tiny, let me see if I can get it to where you can actually see it without falling out of my chair. It's a teeny little nipple thing. Yeah, there you go. That little nub is entirely responsible for turning on the computer. Like, that is its sole purpose in life. So, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about this. Because gluing it back on, I mean, this plastic just... I don't know that that's a very good idea. You need something that can stab that button. Well, this may not end well. At all. Oh, Christ. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do about this. But I can see... I mean, if I try to glue this back to the power button, just like epoxy it, there's a fairly decent chance it's going to break later. But at the same time, I don't know that I have any other option. So maybe we just have to glue everything back together and hope that it actually works. Oh, by the way, I am a professional. Glue it all back together and pray. Hold on. God almighty. Hey, by the way, those MacBook Pros I was talking about, the 2012 and older stuff, they were overpriced when they were new, but nowadays they're a lot cheaper. So if you really need one, or if you just want to run Final Cut Pro for kicks, a whole lot cheaper. One of these days, I need to show you all my my collection of Power Macs. Anyway, people say I don't like Macs. The truth is I don't like Apple. And to some extent, I don't like Macs. All right, so this is probably the main part of our solution. I need to go get something to apply it with, though. Are those people ever going to text me back? Be right back. Putting together this hellscape of a solution here. Oh, why me? Now, I'm really worried because this epoxy's chunky. All epoxy's chunky. Where are my scissors, damn it? I don't know where they are. You know what? We should probably make sure that I keep my fingers intact. There we go. One Q-tip brand cotton swab. You used wood glue? You used wood glue on a Dell? That's awesome. So what I'm starting to think is these plastic welds here that hold this power button on, I think I'm going to break the button off on purpose. Maybe. The problem is that I don't want the button and the nub. I want them to get glued together. What I don't want is for them to get glued to the actual case itself. So that's kind of where things get ugly, and I'm not sure how to proceed yet. Because what I'm thinking, because I also don't just want to break the power button off. That would be dumb. I don't want this to turn into a job where I have to make things really awful looking purely for the sake of functionality. Alright, hold on. Okay, let's see what we got here. So I need to get this button. I wish I could zoom in more. Sorry, I really can't. Here, maybe I can get you down here, though. Let's get it to where you can see it a little better. There we go. That's nice. Alright, I don't really want to open that until I'm going to use it. I'm going to try and stick this utility knife blade in here to hold it up so it doesn't stay down, but I don't want to break it, and that's the problem. It's very springy, so you can imagine. Yeah, this is I think I can hear the Occupational Safety and Health Administration just screaming at me right now. The government's all like, hey, you're gonna lose a finger, and I'm like, how do you know that I even want that finger? Yeah, I could put all kinds of fun stuff in there to put the original back, but yeah, the truth is, I'm a redneck, and if I didn't do it the redneck way, I'd probably have to give up my redneck card and move to New York. So, you know, since I can't do that because I'm pretty sure that New York's made it illegal to be a redneck in New York, that I'm stuck here. Thank God. Or dog, whoever. Alright. Yeah, this epoxy is not happy with me. Good boy. Alright, let's see what we can see. Mix up the hate juice here. Oh, this is the first time I've ever epoxied anything, by the way. And I also, I just started this job a week ago. I'm also lying. I love the internet. Crud, you know, if I would have had some forethought here, I would have rigged up some kind of fake blood thing where I could, like, step on a bulb and have a little tube hidden under the part and just have it squirt blood all over the place. Instead, I'm forced to be professional. So, yeah, this stuff is really chunky. I'm not sure that this is going to work out. You know, so if I don't cut my fingers off, first, I'll probably just glue everything together in one big shot here. Yeah. Alright. Let's do this. That's probably the better way. We'll just sacrifice this blade. I sound like a bad video game. You will sacrifice your blade. Alright. We just need enough to get this epoxy on here, to get this button mended back on, and yeah. As long as it all goes back together, I really don't care exactly what the particulars are. Oh, you can see that, right? You can see all the blood running down the... Nah, sorry. Those pesky fantasies just keep popping back up. Just like, why isn't this a horror movie? And then chat be all like, why can't it be? Yeah, I'm not sure how well that's working right there. I need it right there. This blade, see, I'm not too worried about the blade itself because I've actually used it quite a bit and it's about time for it to go to the trash anyway. So I'm not super concerned about getting cut. What I'm concerned about is this stuff not lining up, and I don't think it's going to. Yeah, this might have been a dumb idea, but whatever. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. So we know where the button's supposed to go, roughly there. And yeah, so the problem is just that it's just too small and the epoxy's too thick. I don't know that I can make this stuff go together properly. It's such a pain in the ass. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing anymore. Yeah. And even then, I don't know that it's going to touch the button in the center where it's supposed to. For all I know, it's going to touch the button in a no-no spot or something. So I think I'm going to go to my alternative plan of breaking all this stuff loose and then gluing it back in. Do it outside the case instead of inside it. Alright, get that off. Because I can always epoxy it back. That's why the epoxy's there, right? That's the whole point. Alright, so let's fix the button. Let's just fix the button itself. You're out. Do what I want you to do. Come on. Come on, do the thing. No. It hardens really quick. I don't even know if harden is the correct word. It just cures, whatever. I really wish this were thinner. Some people might say use super glue, but the problem with super glue is that cyanoacrylate, which is super glue's chemical, the chemical that is used in most super glue, rather, melts plastic. So if I was to do that, it'll basically just dissolve the plastic and then laugh at me. And I won't even, like, it won't even be a joke that I'm part of. I'm just the butt of it. So we can't have that. So that's not an acceptable solution. That actually looks like it's going to go back together okay. Unfortunately, I think that I'm going to have to sacrifice this epoxy. I'm going to have to just give up this batch and make another batch later. Yeah, this blade is toast anyway. So yeah, we'll just let the button harden up a bit. Maybe I can reuse the Q-tip, because that's the ultimate in being cheap, is reusing a damn paper stick. So yeah, I guess in the meantime we can just talk about dumb things. Yeah, that it's a little crooked actually. Just a little crooked. Come on. Don't be crooked. Stay where I want you. Good boy. Okay. Okay. See, unfortunately, the only other option with the way that this is constructed would be either to rip the button out and show them how to poke it with something like a pencil. To either poke it with a pencil or some other pointy object, which is a less than ideal solution, or to buy an entire new top plastic, which is stupid. This design is stupid! To those of you who want me to argue with the machine, well, it's kind of hard to argue with this. It's dead. What are you gonna do? You know, you want me to yell at it, but the problem is dead. It doesn't even turn on. So there's no one there to hear me complain. I have no mouth, and I must scream. So what do? All right. Well. Let's make sure there's no extra epoxy over here. Ew, yummy. All right, how far apart are those? It looks like this is almost exactly in line with those. This is supposed to set in about 5 minutes, I think. What does it say? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Well, whatever. So, but I could still set it down there and find out, at least, if it's going to line up or not. And I think it is. It looked like it was correct. I mean, it's a little funky, but it looks correct overall. As the epoxy gets harder, I can actually refine this whole mess. This is just a crappy design. I mean, here's the thing. On most of these computers where you have a plastic plunger style button, what they'll do is they'll put the little nipple that pokes the micro switch right here, right in the center of the button. So you got this, right? And this is the power switch and something has to stab it. They would put this in the middle of the button and they'd have this part that's a little nub right here would instead be another one of these supports. So you would have 3 or 4 mount points that would all come to this one button, and there'd be more plastic. It'd be like coiled up. So when you poke it, it's less risky that the plastic might break instead of having a springy action. And the nipple being in the middle of the button means you're applying force straight down. But what these dumbasses at Dell have done is made it so that when you push down, you're putting force directly on this little nipple such that it's basically begging to crack in half right here. It's a crappy design. The power button should be further up and the nipple should be in the middle instead of over here where it'll just snap off. And yeah, it's dumb because this is not like a garbage computer. It's old and thick, but it's not a slow POS. You throw a solid state drive in, it's good to go. The one thing holding it back is some guy somewhere, or several, surely have had this exact same problem happen and go, oh, I can't turn it on. Time to put it in the garbage can. So, you know, you talk about like reusability and sustainability and things like that, but people will throw away this computer not because there's a problem with the computer, but because this stupid power button design renders the entire computer completely useless. Piece of shit. So one of the books that I'm reading, since someone mentioned design versus engineering, one of the best books is The Design of Everyday Things. You know, I'm gonna have to get this epoxy off my pry tool. But The Design of Everyday Things is a really great book. The guy who made it is infamous because of his descriptions of doors. Like, whenever you have a door that has, like, a pull handle or a push bar, but it goes the opposite. Like, it has a pull handle, but you can only push it. Well, that's bad design. And he has a whole lot of complaining about doors in the book. It's pretty brilliant, actually. One of the things that he mentions is there's a sink in this, I think it was some European country, I can't remember if it was Britain or otherwise, but there was a sink in his hotel room, and the sink had a faucet, and it didn't have any clear way to drain it. So he ran the sink, he washed his face in the water or whatever, and then he couldn't drain the sink. So he goes down to the lobby and asks them how to operate the sink, how to drain it. And so, oh, you reach in and you poke the drain, the plunger in the drain, and that will open the drain up and drain the water. So he has to go back to his hotel room, stick his hands in the dirty water, poke the sink plug to get it to unplug. And that made sense to someone. Yeah. You know, just never turn it off would be great if it weren't for the fact that batteries go bad and power failures happen and AC adapters eventually fail. You know, but otherwise, yeah, just never turn it off sounds like a good idea. Can I get the epoxy off my tools with this? 20 minutes. So I don't think we're actually going to get to complete this stream. The people I'm waiting on still haven't texted me back. I told them that I could take care of it today. You know, it wasn't even that long before I texted them that they had said, hey, are you ready? And I haven't heard from them. How long has this been going? It's been going, oh my God, this stream's already half an hour long? Are you kidding me? Oh God. So they were like, hey, we want you to help. We really want help. Are you there? You ready? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, okay, give me your email and password so I can take care of the thing. Now, the thing, by the way, is that they have a Gmail account with 140,000 messages and they want to delete them all. And it's basically impossible without using a mail client. So I'm just going to stick their account in my mail client, delete all their mail older than a month, and send those changes up to the server. In theory. In practice, who knows? So... yeah, that's getting a little sticky. See, I won't even be able to test this until probably tomorrow because I wouldn't want to mess it up. We need to get some of the excess epoxy off, though. This razor blade actually would be very good for that, huh? Ew. Yeah, because that's not going to help very much. Good Lord. What a mess. All right. This is the kind of weird stuff that I end up doing, though. This is one of the reasons that I suggest to people that they shouldn't get into PC repair as a career, because it's glamorized, you know, just in general. Like, doing computer stuff is glamorized. But the truth is, when you do PC repair, you end up having to figure out stupid problems and often unorthodox solutions, because if it's not a failed hard drive or a bad Windows update, you're probably going to spend some time troubleshooting, and that's not something that's easy to learn. That's something that takes a lot of time and dedication and knowledge to really refine. And some poor kid who thinks, oh, I built my own gaming PC and I enjoyed it, I'm going to be a computer technician. Well, they're in for a really rude awakening. Because I was that kid. Although I didn't build my own gaming PC. Actually, I had third-hand computers pretty much all of my childhood and everything. I built my first brand new computer, I think, in 2002 or 2003. For myself. I actually helped someone build one before that, but yeah, before that it was all like old 386, 486, you know. Did a lot of DOS garbage, actually. Alright. So, as far as I can tell, the epoxy has set enough for me to consider putting this back together. Now, my concern at this point Yeah, okay. Yeah, there went the Gazing Cat Productions email. If you heard that loud digital meow, that is, if anyone here has ever heard of the Japanese game Yume Nikki, it's the sound file in that game for the cat effect. And if you haven't heard of that game, well, I got 99 problems. Ha! Reference. How contemporary of me. Alright. Chances are pretty good there will be little thin hairs of epoxy on everything when I'm done with this crap. Alright. By the way, I've actually gotten sick off of the fumes of this stuff before. I had to use a lot of it, and I didn't have a fan running. This is years ago. And I spent several hours being quite nauseous later, so now I have very nice ventilation, because that's never happening again. Got to be careful with these chemicals, man. This stuff can be brutal. And you get more sensitive to it as you're exposed to it. Okay, so let's epoxy these back on. What they do at the factory is they have these plastic pegs, and they kind of they stick up, and they have something kind of like an extruder on a 3D printer, except instead of squeezing plastic through a hot hole or whatever, they poke it in the middle with a really hot element that melts it down and squashes it into a disc. It's sort of like a plastic rivet. I call them plastic welds. I'm not sure if there is some kind of official name for that. Like all of these little things that you see here where they've clearly stuck these two pieces of plastic that they molded separately together that way. I call them plastic welds, because as far as I'm concerned, it welds the plastic to something else, and that's good enough for me. And the other concern I have here is that if I make the epoxy too thin, then this power button won't actually stay attached. But if I make it too thick, then when I put this board back, it won't go back straight and won't work properly as a result. So I'm now at the point where I kind of just have to stop. I have to stop because I can't do much more. I'm going to try and reinforce this a little bit around the edges here, actually. Let's get a little bit down there because I don't feel like there's enough. Yeah. Come on. Normal people would be shocked if they saw what computer people and mechanics have to do sometimes. I mean, there are some things that are quite literally held together with the equivalent of professional glue and duct tape. So, and who would have thought that this little micro switch, I bet you it cost 5 cents. Who would have thought that that would be the source of an entire modern laptop? Literally tens of millions, hundreds of millions, even billions, I don't know, of transistors inside this thing. There's probably more transistors inside this gooey little blob right here for the touchpad than there were back in the Commodore 64. But this one little stupid micro switch right here kills this entire computer because you can't turn it on. So yeah, you need to stop flopping down on my beautiful epoxy job, you bastard. Okay. I think we're done. But the truth is I won't know. Oh, God, yeah. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay. Well, I don't want to put any kind of clamp on it, but what can we do? This thing looks like it's not quite in the hole correctly. And there may be nothing I can do about it. I don't know. Maybe I can just prop the utility knife on it. It may need more weight than that. I don't know. Let's see. What cute solution do I have for this? I don't think I do have one. Needle nose pliers. Just need to put a little weight on you so you'll stay put. Wow, look at that mess. God, I feel so professional. 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 Alright, well, that's about all I can take of my professionalism now. Okay, friends, so let's see. So what are you guys saying in the chat over here? What are you saying about me? Nothing. Nothing. You're not saying anything about me. Well, look, hey, I'm happy to be able to share some of this stuff with you all. You know, this is not the greatest design, but I mean, overall, it's not really a terrible computer. It's just this. This is it's the pebble in your shoe that makes you unable to walk after a mile. You know, that's what that is. It's frustrating and annoying to see technology fail because of one dumb decision. But I want you to put this in perspective, okay? This thing right here, this is one little dumb decision that I fixed with glue. There's no fixing that stupid Alienware travesty that I had to deal with the other day. There's no fixing that. The way you fix that is you take the computer, you lift it, and you throw it out the window. And then buy another computer. Or not. Go outside. Get off the internet. Like, haha, how is cyberbullying even real? Just close your eyes. Alright. Look, the truth is, I can't put this back together today. I think it's going to have to just sit here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream. There's not much else to chat about today. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go hassle that customer so I can fix their Gmail because I just don't have time to wait. So, yeah, thanks for hanging out. And I will see you on the flip side. By the way, I love it if you guys leave feedback in the comments or whatever. On the posts. Just let me know what you think. Let me know if these are boring and you want me to stop. Let me know if you want me to do more of them. I am here to entertain you and certainly not to do any real work. Take care, everyone. Have a great one. Here, let me just turn off this powerful streaming PC over here. This extremely powerful... Good night. Yes. My God, every time it asks me, even though I told it not to. Even though I tell it not to, it's still